As we progress through this spring, I think we're getting to the point where some of you have crops coming out of the ground and many of you have crops in the ground that should be emerging soon. And as we look back at the planting season to date, we've really dealt with a lot of challenges. Everybody's had some wet conditions and some dry conditions to plant in. We've all been through a period of cold now. We really find that it's time for us to begin to put together our scorecard of what's happened so far and use that grade to help us dictate what's going to happen from this point on in this growing season. I'm Keith Byerly, Precision Ag Manager at Central Valley Ag, and this is your Precision Focus video that corresponds with the article on the CVA blog site. Obviously, we've got observations. We've got our little notebook in our pocket. We've made mental notes of what's going on out there, but really, all of that's fine and dandy, but we've got plenty of electronic devices at our disposal nowadays that we need to be taking digital records of these fields and these observations going forward. We need to make sure that those things are quantified, so whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months from today, we know what we observed and how we began to implement that in our management plan going forward for the season. Whether you're an Ag Leader user with Agfinity, or you use Climate's FieldView app, or any of the others that are out there on the market, I don't care which is your particular cup of tea. I just want to make sure that you're using something, because in this day and age, it's inexcusable not to get this data down. As we proceed forward from this point in the season, you're going to hear myself, you're going to hear Mike talk about the net effective stand a lot more. And that's really one of the first observations we need to be recording on this thing, because that's going to affect our nitrogen rate, our irrigation strategy, and a slew of other decisions that we make going forward through the year. So whether it's using these tools that are cloud-based and sharing those observations with your agronomist, or relying on somebody to digitally record these and share those with you back over paper, I want to make sure that these devices become your friend out in the field, especially if you're variable rate planting, because it's awful hard to quantitate what we're seeing out there if we don't know what our target population and what our actual as applied populations were going forward. So that's my take home for you today. In this day and age, there's little to no excuse not to have these records recorded for posterity's sake. Not only are they going to be valuable for us this year, they will be valuable for us when we get to the winter time, and as we look back across this entire season and give ourselves a grade on what we did, and implementing that data forward into decisions about our hardware purchases, if we need to make capital investments in things like downforce, or if we need to make investments in moisture probes and things like that going forward. All of this data is instrumental in helping us make better informed, more profitable decisions for this season and for every season going forward.